Lucy Spraggen is yet another X Factor singer who tells a horrific story about her experience of engaging with the reality TV world, how she was supposed to be protected and she really was not protected, how she appealed for help and she didn't get as much help as she should have got, and so on. It's just it's a lethal world. I'm so sorry to hear her story, as indeed I'm sorry to hear the story of Rebecca Ferguson, Kate Weissel, and the many people who are engaged in trying to improve this particular form of entertainment. And the government, and in particular the Secretary of State for Digital Culture, Media and Sport, currently a person called Lucy Fraser. You won't know of her name because she seems to idle her time. And when she does appear in front of a select committee, like so many other ministers, she's ill-prepared. And she was preceded by other secretaries of state. There has been 12 of them in 13 years, all of them monumentally useless and indifferent to the problems. So, in my experience, writing about this issue to them, I get directed to OFCOM, OFCOM direct me back to them. So we're going round and round in an endless circle. The last person to write was a fellow called John Whittingdale, who was pretty well as useless as the others. But I am touched by Lucy Spraggen's story, and I urge you to look at the details. And please leave your comments, and if you get an opportunity, please write to your MP and ask why the investigation into reality TV, which was convened in 2018 or early 2019, was then stopped because of the election that Boris called and never reconvened, and only heard information from production staff and four performers on Love Island and the Jeremy Kyle show, and that is supposed to represent an unbiased investigation. So we shouldn't be that surprised that the resulting directions, which are now controlled by OFCOM, favour production and give production even more control over the people who appear on these programmes for up to 18 months after the programme is finished. It all sounds as if they're doing a good thing and as if they're investing money in people's welfare, but in fact, equally, they are given control over these people's lives long after the cameras have finished rolling, long after the shows have been broadcast on television. It's a heinous and extremely worrying situation, and when there is a problem, as I discovered, nobody wants to know. And there is finally an apology. I'm so sorry the system didn't work well at this particular time. But that's the point, increasingly. There just isn't, there's a record of, the system isn't there. And an apology isn't really what one wants. One wants the system to be there. One wants security, one wants safety. And one wants to know that one isn't being manipulated and one isn't being constantly controlled and fed nonsense by production. The biggest problem for people on reality TV shows, and indeed on TV in general, is a loss of agency, and giving production, rather than independent management, rather than union representation, is a loss of self, and absolutely no one to produce guidance.